Let's speak to Michael Cox, who's an academic and international education specialist with more than 25 years of experience. He's currently senior advisor at the Global Policy Institute, also chair of political science at Bay Atlantic University. Michael Cox, I feel like I really should call you professor after your time spent in our studio here in Istanbul. Really good to see you. What are the unforeseen circumstances that could stop Donald Trump from contesting the November the 5th election?
Well, the most obvious unforeseen circumstances could be health-related issues. He's not a particularly healthy person. He doesn't lead a lifestyle that is conducive to longevity. He seems to be in fine health now, his mental capacity, his physical health, but it's a long time until November. But these are also the same kind of concerns that many voters have raised about President Biden as well. The more obvious concerns are foreseeable, is if the Supreme Court rules on the immunity issue regarding Donald Trump, if his cases go to trial, if they move forward before the elections. Many Republicans in previous polls have said that they do not want to vote for a person who's been convicted of felonies. So that could be a greater incentive for the Democrats in facing Donald Trump in November.
How do you feel about the sincerity of some Republican politicians who are backing Trump? We've just had in the past hour or so, Mitch McConnell, who is stepping down as leader of the minority party in the Senate. He says he's backing Trump, and many people might think, hold on, do we really believe you, or are you just doing it because you don't want to be disrespected by Trump supporters?
That's the general sense, especially here in Washington, that the political expediency of supporting Donald Trump, of endorsing Donald Trump, is good for politicians' careers, even politicians who are at the end of their careers, like Mitch McConnell. They don't want to deal with the hassle of the MAGA Republicans. They don't want to deal with any vilification that Donald Trump may make towards them between now and the election. And frankly, the politics of the Republican Party has, for the last 4 to 6 years, it's been easier to give in to Donald Trump than fight against Donald Trump. Nikki Haley put up a pretty good run against President Trump, but as you noted, she has only suspended her campaign. She hasn't officially quit the campaign, and she hasn't yet endorsed him, although she did congratulate him. The interesting thing about Haley's campaign, in which some moderate Republicans are focusing on, is that her campaign, the narrative has changed to focus on it raising issues of concern that the Trump campaign should address between now and November. Will the Trump campaign do that or not? That's for us to see.
Is it too late for the Democratic Party to replace Biden as its candidate?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is no viable alternative to President Biden. He's all but clinched the nomination technically and officially. There's just no one waiting in the wings who could replace him. And the same goes for Donald Trump. And there's no, Haley has placed herself as a viable alternative if something happens between now and November, but the Democrats don't have an alternative like that.
Yeah, and of course, the reason I'm asking the question is because of the increasing skepticism about possibly Joe Biden's mental acuity, his age. He'd be, I think, 81 if he were to win again, and maybe 82 by the time he entered the White House, something like that. His birthday is around the time of the election. Just finally, Professor, give us a result from November the 5th then.
Oh, it's really hard to say at this point. It is a head-to-head rematch of 2020. Many of the same issues are at play. Biden has taken a hit with what is happening in Gaza, but Trump has also taken a hit with what is happening in terms of his legal sense. The big question are the independent voters, and we have no idea at this point which way they will go. The data is still being analyzed from Super Tuesday to see where moderates have placed themselves, both on the Democratic side and both on the Republican side, but it's far too close to tell.
Yeah, that's about the right answer, isn't it? We're all still guessing, but it'll become clearer, and we'll get you back when it is clearer. Michael Cox, thank you so much.
Thank you.